Not moving in drive, guys. Not a good sign. I've decided that I'm going to pull the transmission on here. We made our own custom engine hoist support, and we got that supporting the weight of the engine right now, over here at least. And the trans is still in, but yesterday we did get the subframe out. It took us about 3 hours. You'll direct your attention at the floor. We have a transmission. This was so incredibly hard to get removed because, right, I don't know if you can see it, probably not. Let's try this. A little bit more light. Can get you down in there. That, right there, what you're looking at, that is a guide pin, a alignment pin, whatever you want to call it, but that goes on. You put the trans on that. That was an absolute pain to get off of there. We are sore. My father-in-law literally just left right before it came down. We were taking the torque converter and we were taking the bolt off, and we dropped the bolt, and then it fell in there. We had to fish it out because we couldn't turn the flywheel anymore from the crank. So we got that out, and then since we've never taken the trans off before and put a new one on, we have to figure out how to mount the torque converter up into the flywheel. And I don't know if there's a specific way that has to go on, or if you can just bolt it back in. I really don't know. We're gonna have to do that research, but either way, this transmission's out. We're gonna take this wherever we go for another one. We're gonna get the core return fee. And you know, I would get this rebuilt, but knowing it had mechanical, physical failures, as well as TCM failure, it's worth it just to buy a new transmission. Well, a new used transmission, and then put that one in. I might have to get it programmed from the dealer, and or from the dealership, because some people say the TCM needs to be programmed to the ECU, but then I've seen other people online swap the new trans in and have no issue. So I don't know, but it's late. I'm tired. I'm done until I come back from North Carolina. All right, guys, we're back. It is
14 degrees.
It is 14 degrees. It is like over 2 weeks later, but we did pick up a new trans. So old one, I don't know if you can see it. Old one's on the floor over there. And if we walk over this way, at the back of the garage, where there's no light whatsoever, we got the new trans. Now, I only paid $250 for this one, which is a hell of a deal considering the other ones I found were $300, $350 plus $300 for shipping online, and that comes with torque converter, everything. So we have to get this one out of the way. We have to get that one over here, get it mounted, get the flywheel installed, and get the bolts on, and basically reinstall the whole thing. So we're gonna get started, and I'll provide you guys some shots. I got a new little camera set up so you guys can get some different shots here. So without further ado, alright, we ran into kind of an issue here. We didn't realize this, but there's a guide pin in the transmission, and we didn't pull it out, and the one in our engine is still there. So we got to get one of them out while we have the transmission almost already perfectly lined up. We don't want to drop it down because it's out again, like right there. So we're down here trying to get one of them out, and then we should be able to kind of slowly push it up to where it needs to be and get some bolts in there. We got tons of straps holding up the trans and the engine, and check this out. There's our mess of cables. The green ones are holding trans, all the blue ones are for engine, and the orange ones are for the front, holding up like the radiator and everything like that. It's getting difficult, and it's still cold out here. Luckily, in 2 days it's gonna be warmer. We're both off work, so we're gonna do some more then. And you can see he's going at it. So we're gonna skip ahead, and we'll be back with an update.
Yeah.
This guy, we had to pull the transmission back down. We've been sitting here trying and trying and trying. He finally got it out. We used, where's that extractor bit? We used an extractor bit attached to the impact on the guide pin, and eventually it came out. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get out of frame. Look at that. It's chewed up at the base there, down here, And I went inside to use the restroom, come back out, and I'm like, please tell me you got it out. And he's like, no. And then he sits there and shakes it, and it comes right out. So, perfect. We can get moving forward because it has been 3 hours, and we effectively have done nothing except for line this up, take it back down, and get it back to where we started. So, we're going to go ahead and move forward, and I will update you guys again here in a minute. Hey guys, we are trying to get the transmission up. We got on 2 jacks. We need to get it mounted up here. Sorry for the light. There we go. Try to give you a better view. All right, transmission. It's got to go up here. It's just out of frame for you guys, but it's right here. So let me adjust the camera angle, and we'll get at it. There we go. All right. This is video record in case we die. Just me. Yep. Let's go. Alright guys, we're got the transmission in, we're putting the axles back in, we're reconnecting the steering and everything, and we got the passenger side almost done. We're gonna hook up the driver's side. We're gonna go over everything, and we're gonna make sure all the bolts are tight, all of that, fill it with fluid, hook the battery back up, and then I think we can start it. And after we start it, let the trans fluid flow for a little bit. We gotta let it heat up. Check the fill level. After we check the fill level, add more as needed until it overflows. And then for the final reveal of whether or not this thing will freaking move. So don't go anywhere. You're gonna find out in 3, 2, 1. All right, I have the car on the ground, tires are on. Check this out, guys. Reverse. I don't know if you guys can see it, but look at the side of my garage there. We're moving. We are moving. And so far so good. Pop it back in the drive. Same thing, we move. I'm gonna put it out of the garage a little bit. Let the exhaust go out. We're gonna have to check the trans fluid level. And so far, it's so good. We're gonna have to move the 3 vehicles in my driveway to get this on the road to test drive it. Make sure we don't get anything. There is a check engine light. One thing, I have the bumper disconnected, so it has the grill that controls the airflow, telling the fuel pump that it has an issue, when it's probably just that. So I'm gonna let this go for a little bit, and we're gonna heat it up, and then I'll see you guys on the test drive. But so far so good. It's a couple days later now, and I had my father-in-law take it while I was working, and he drove it around. He took it to Valvoline to get the trans fluid checked while it was hot. Drove it around, no issues. Check engine light did come on for the issue I just talked about with the bumper being disconnected, and a wheel speed sensor, because we did kind of break it, and I wired it up temporarily, but it came loose while he was driving, so I just got to make it permanent, and then that will go away. As for the bumper, right now it is 7:30 a.m. on Friday. I am leaving here at noon. I'm going all the way to Cleveland, which is 2 hours away, for a bumper. It is the same color of the car. I don't have to worry about painting it, nothing like that. So I'm driving 2 hours there, 2 hours back to get the bumper, and then I'll throw that on. After that, we sell this thing. I've had it for 2 months. Every other car I've done on this channel has been like a couple weeks at most. About an hour into the journey so far, guys, and It's going pretty smooth so far. I'm in our tow rig, the Nissan Pathfinder. It's a V8 Pathfinder. I think it's the 2008. It's my father-in-law's, but I wasn't going to be able to fit the bumper in my Mercedes. So we're about an hour away from Cleveland now, coming from Toledo. And so far, I've done this drive a lot. This is basically, if you know roller coasters, you like theme parks, it's a halfway, Cedar Point's halfway in between both. And this is actually the first time I've been this close to Cedar Point during the winter. Fun fact, they do a winter tour and you can win tickets for it, and I've been trying every time and I've never won. But we're gonna keep driving, and I'll get some video of the bumper once we get to Cleveland, and then I'll begin my journey home. All right guys, I'm on the way home. My plan was to show you guys the bumper while I was there picking it up, but I had to pick it up from one of the guys that disassembles. I had to pick it up from his bay, and he was waiting, counting down the seconds until it was 5 o'clock. It is Friday, he wanted to go home. He was not in the mood to have me stand around, which, whatever man, it's Friday, he's tired, cool. So what we'll do is, I'll get this one home. As you can see, it's right back there. And we'll get it home, and then I'll set up the other one next to this one, and we can go over the differences real quick, and why I went and drove 4 hours round trip to get a new one. Yeah, we'll do that. In the meantime, enjoy some footage of the driving. Finally back home. So, old bumper. Let's go over the old bumper. A couple things here. It was missing the cover where a fog light would go if you had it. Missing it on both sides. This one has both. Those are about 15, 20 a piece. This one had huge cracks in it. Huge, very obvious, both sides. More than likely, what actually happened with this car is somebody hit something pretty hard, and on the bottom cracked the bumper, and that's probably what broke the transmission in the first place. Probably knocked something loose in there. That damaged the TCM, caused it to overheat. There's just a domino effect from there. But another thing to notice here is this one, this bumper is upside down. So this is the top of it, this is the bottom. That's why the cracks are there. This actually is a motor that connects to these fins that open and close for more air. Now, this bumper does not have that. If you look at it, this is the same orientation we just looked at. They actually gave me this support bar, which I don't need, but I'm gonna keep it. This one still has it, and it's in good condition. So, this one has both covers, no cracks. Well, minor cracks, like here and here, but those are pretty normal. This does not have the motor with fins. As you can see, the slot for it to go in is there. It just has a static grill. So what I'm gonna do is either try to fix this, because this is actually broken right now. It comes right out. I gotta take this whole bracket off, and goes in a few places. I'd take that whole bracket off and swap it over, but it might just be worth taking the plugs if that's not gonna work. I might just take the plugs, because it does give an error when a check engine light when this isn't plugged in, and I don't think this is getting any feedback. So if I disconnect this, little motor here, it's still gonna spin when the computer tells it to. It's just not gonna change anything. Like, if the grill isn't on there and it's just like taped on there or something, I would not like to do that. I would like to retain its original form, but if I cannot repair this at the last resort, I will just hook it up to it and then plug it in, and then that way the engine code goes away. Anyway, I'll be back Sunday to work on the car. We'll button all of this up, and then the last thing I have to do is get the title in my name still. I went to the DMV before I took this trip, and in Michigan, every single one in the state of Michigan was down. All their computer systems. Whatever, anyway, I'm blabbing. It's Friday, it's gonna be Sunday in like 3, 2, 1. Next day reveals problems. I have the pieces out I need to fix that grill, and let's take a look at this. So here's the brackets. These brackets go towards the top of the bumper, and then the ones under here go towards the bottom, blah, blah, blah. And I have to somehow make all this plastic one unit again, somehow, I think, I don't know. And then, so that's gonna be a little bit difficult. So let's see if I can figure out how to glue this, or I might have to plastic weld it. I don't have a plastic welder. I'm not sure how this is gonna come together, but we're gonna take a crack at it, and I don't know. Leave your comments below. What do you think is gonna happen? So let's get at it. So we got this plastic melted and reassembled together. Same with up here. If I flip it over, same thing down here. Little piece of my glove got stuck in there. But all the other pieces, there's a little, 1 or 2 little pieces that are missing. But for the most part, everything is there. And the plastic seems pretty sturdy. I can pick it up, move it around, and it's not going anywhere. So I can go ahead and get this fitted on the new bumper. And then hopefully I can just slap the new bumper on, put the wheel back on, because I got to button up the wheel well cover. But then from there, maybe drive it, make sure no check engine lights, nothing. And then after that, it's just a detail, and then I'll wash the car. Maybe do the headlights restoration. They don't look too bad though. Anyway, let's get this bumper disassembled on the bumper, and then get the bumper on, and we'll be right back. Alright, other camera died while putting the bumper on, but that's okay. Got my backup. That bumper on here looks beautiful. You saw the old one, what this one looks like compared. There's a tiny little dent right there. Not a big deal. Give a walk around of the car. We have on the rear passenger, we have a trim piece missing. And if we go to the driver's side, the rear driver's side door is missing the trim in the same spot. And I don't know if that was a common failure, but it kind of looks like somebody pulled it off because this is snapped. So I'm not sure. If we take a quick peek inside, you can see, aside from the low gas and the dust, there is nothing on the dash. It does need a detail in here, but I did buy that detail vacuum for that BMW, which is yeah, we don't talk about that one. So this needs a detail, clean inside. It's kind of dirty, but it will clean up very nicely. That's it for today for me, guys. I'm going to put the camera down, pull the car back in, go inside, and spend the rest of the Sunday with my family. And I will be back out here tomorrow to get started on some detailing. So don't go anywhere. You'll see some vacuuming in 3, 2, 1. I know you're expecting to see me vacuuming right now, but the other day when I took the car to get gas, the ABS light came on. And I was thinking, oh, it's the one over there that I broke and repaired. I checked it all over, it looks good. So I hooked up the scan tool and drove down the road. No, it's this one. It's an inconsistent speed. So I'd be driving about 20 miles an hour and both would say 20 miles an hour, but then this one would drop 14, 11, back up to 20, down to 14, 13, and it would not stay consistent with the driver's side. So I checked all the connections over, they look good. So I just concluded it's the sensor itself. So I got a new one here. We're gonna go ahead and get this one installed and then put the wheel back on, take it for another drive. That should fix all the issues. Then we can get to cleaning the car. So that real quick changing the sensor turned into 2.5 hours of troubleshooting because I changed the sensor, same symptoms, ABS light comes right back on. So I hooked up the scan tool and live data on both of the front sensors while driving. The driver's side, while I'm going 20 miles per hour, shows 20 miles per hour as expected. The passenger side will show 20 miles per hour, but then drop to 14, then it will go to 16, then back up to 20, and then it will stay steady for a second, and then it'll drop back down. And a couple things that could be the issue here. It could be the ring inside of the hub. I think it's called the toner ring or the reluctor ring, depending on who says it, but that's what I found. It has little teeth, and it works by magnetism, so as the teeth pass the wheel speed sensor, it counts the revolutions and it determines the speed. Kind of like how the input speed shaft sensor worked with the transmission that I had to replace. I wanted to finish this today and get it cleaned, but again, that didn't happen. So tomorrow I'm going to come out here, I'm going to take the wheel off, I'm going to take the wheel speed sensor out, I'm going to spray brake clean into the hole and spin it. If that doesn't work, with this one, the ring is integrated into the hub. I might just go buy a new hub. I don't want to, but I think I might just have to do that. There's nothing left to do after the brake clean if the brake clean doesn't do it. So here we go again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Update on where I'm at. It was not the wheel speed sensor. It is the toner ring inside of the wheel hub assembly. So this is the new wheel hub that I have to put on. As you can see, this is the toner ring. This has the metal pieces inside of it, little ridges, that when they pass by the wheel speed sensor, that is how the wheel speed sensor determines miles per hour and reports it to the computer. Well, I was able to, without pulling it off, look at the one that is in there now, and it is missing several chunks of it. So it has to get replaced. Cool. I start pulling it out, I get all the bolts out, I get it disconnected, I get the brake caliper hanging off to the side, everything's good to go. But, as you can see, not everything is good to go. I've been at this for about 30 minutes. PV blaster, 5-pound slide hammer, I just went and bought this, and it is not budging. All the bolts are removed. All I need to do is get this out, bolt a new one back in, and that should solve our issue, but I'm having no luck. So, I'm gonna do what any sane person does that lives in the Rust Belt. I'm going to set it on fire. So, I need to get a torch though, and it's too late for that today. I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow with a torch, blast it with some heat, slide hammer. I'm just gonna heat the whole thing up till it's just hot as shit. Okay, we got the old hub off, so let's take a look at the difference. I'll do a side-by-side screen comparison, and you just saw what the new one is supposed to look like. Here's what the old one looks like. As you can see, there's the ring right there. Chunks missing. It's no wonder the speed sensor kept going out. It had no idea what to do. So we got the old one off. We got the new one. After a lot of heat and time and effort, the new one is on. We're gonna put the new wheel on, or not the new wheel. We're going to put the wheel on and we're gonna take it for a test drive and it should be good to go. So fingers crossed, guys. Let's take a look. So we're gonna go to, I wish I could show you guys the screen, but we're going to control modules, electronic brake control module. We're gonna go and clear the code. All right, code is cleared. Now I'm going to set up a log on the front left and front right wheel speed sensors so that I can compare. All right, logging is enabled. Let's go. All right, seatbelt on. Maybe. Alright, let's go. It would happen pretty fast here. We do have a rubbing noise. So I think that heat shield is rubbing. But it would have already happened every single time it happened. Every single time the sensor came on already. Within the first 5 seconds of driving. This part is consistent. It changes on the turns because one wheel locks to turn, the other one doesn't. All right, I think we're looking good. Let's get this rubbing noise fixed. In the interest of time, I am not going to show you me vacuuming and detailing the inside, but I guarantee it's gonna happen. I have the vacuum detail stuff ready to go. I have the shop back over there. I got the car behind me. I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up. I got some wipes for the interior, everything. We're gonna get this car cleaned up and then have to figure out some way to get the exterior washed. It is cold outside, so everything's closed. There is a place down the road that does details, and they do it inside. They just like wash your car, whatever package you pick. And I might go to them. It all depends. I don't know what the time is like, what the wait's like. I don't know if you have to drop it off and come back, whatever. Either way, guys, let's go ahead and cut to the final finished picture of this car after it's cleaned, washed, ready to go. I will get some more footage at the same time I take the pictures to list it for sale. So don't go anywhere. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. What do you think about this car? This car has taken me 3 months. Which is the longest I've spent working on a single car, and it was not fun every step of the way, but I'm glad it's almost done. Let me know your thoughts. Again, make sure to comment down below, and I will see you in a second. Here is the final product. It is very cold out here right now, so I'm just gonna do a quick walk around. It's cleaned up. The car wash was open. The only thing I didn't change is the trim pieces because I couldn't find them, but she's all done. It took 3 months, guys. 3 months of working on this car. 3 months of suffering, and it is so cold outside right now. I am just so happy to be done. I got the pictures taken of it. I'm gonna get this car listed right up in the description, get it on Marketplace tonight, and hopefully get rid of it so I can buy another headache. All right, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Goodbye. Ignore me. We're not done. I never talked about the price. So to start, the car I paid $1,700 for, and then the input speed shift sensor that I thought was the issue, I paid $33 for. When that wasn't the issue, I ended up spending $250 for the transmission. I bought the bumper for $472. The transmission fluid cost me another $60. The car wash was $15, and the wheel hub was $150, for a grand total of $2,680. And I am listing it for $5,500, and it will make me just about $3,000 in profit. $1,000 of that is going to my father-in-law for all of the help he gave me, netting me just under $2,000 profit for about 3 months of work. And while that's not ideal and not typically what I strive for on the channel, it's better than nothing, and I did learn a lot about cars on this one, and that is definitely worth something as well. So guys, let me know what you thought about the video down below. I hope to see you next time. This has been Paul. Goodbye.